without further ado, we are ready for this awesome race. We got Hyper Light Drifter between Muncha and Znubz. Let's take it away, boys.
Hello, everybody. I'm MunchaKoopas.
I'm Znubz.
And we're going to do Hyper Light Drifter. Are you ready, Znubz? Are you ready, Tech?
I hope so.
All right. We'll count down from 3. We'll start on go. 3, 2, 1. Wait, you're not on enter. Wait, you don't have to be on enter?
You can just hit start.
Why has no one told me this? Why is that not in the menu anywhere? Okay, hold on. Sorry.
Hold on, Muncha. I don't agree with you doing the countdown. This is an unfair advantage.
Oh, that's
to
true.
you.
That's true. I'm sorry.
Okay. Are both of you ready now?
I'm on enter.
Okay. Are you ready, Znubz?
Yeah, I'm ready now.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Thank you, Dark Man.
Anytime.
Right off the bat, I guess I should mention this is Alt Drifter, so there's no opening cutscene. First thing we do is pick up the map, and then we're going to go outside this house, and then we're going to start breaking things, because we're speedrunners. So any door in this game pretty much removes all collision around it when you open it, and in the opening town, that allows you to skip a cutscene that takes about 7 seconds.
Yeah, I'm going 7 seconds slower for consistency's sake.
Yeah, that will actually give Znubz a slight advantage later on in moving through certain areas, because since I've skipped that cutscene will always, the trigger is still there. And so anytime I go back to that spot, the cutscene will play. So now I always have to do that out of bounds, which gives me a chance to miss it. Also, I somehow levitated. All right, so throughout this run, we're going to be picking up 12 of these bits to make a byte, which then lets us buy our only upgrade, which is Chain Dash. We're using a slightly more marathon-safe route compared to the most optimal route for this category. And the order we will be doing everything in is east, north, west, south.
Yeah, I would have done the other route, but it's just not as fun to die everywhere.
Yeah, this one makes the race, for a race especially, this route is a little more even. So when you see in the top left, we have the green health, and below that we have our pink ammo for our pistol, which has 6 shots. For combat, we can fire the gun and then immediately press the attack button to perform our regular attack. And you can cancel most actions in that same fashion. For example, you can cancel a gunshot into a dash or a regular attack into a dash. Right here I'm getting the first module of the game, and I was hoping to do a trick called select buffering, which allows you to move during the module cutscene. Each module takes about 5 seconds to pull out of the ground, so being able to move during those is just super helpful. And we need 4 modules from each area, as well as 1 pillar activated in order to reach the final boss of the game. And in certain instances, you'll see that we do more than 3 dashes in a row. The basic dash, you can do 3 in a row, and then you have to wait a little bit before you dash again. But with certain ledge interactions and timings, you can actually make it so that you can chain 4 to 6 in a row. Coming up, we're both going to face some plant enemies with a lot of health. And then we're going to do something called Red Door Clip.
Magical red door.
Magical red door will show us the world. All right, I'm going to open this door, count to 5 in my head. When the door reforms, I'm going to walk into it and walk or dash to the left. Like so. And so by having the map open and then essentially cycling between pushing dash and the map button, it allows me to, like I said, do inputs while the module cutscene plays. And I could use the inventory screen, but I'm just used to using the map because on older patches of this game, using the inventory screen would crash when you used select buffering. All right, so for out of bounds, there's a few different rules. One, there's basically floor nearly everywhere, but there's also some death pits, or just places where you fall and take damage. And out of bounds, there is a death timer. That's a check put in by the developer to put the player back in bounds if they somehow get out. But you can circumvent that timer by resetting it by pushing sit or healing. I forgot to select buffer this module.
This is not a fun one to select buffer.
No, we call it the flame room, and the fire is always active, even during those cutscenes. So we often have to either take a lot of damage or sacrifice a bit of time to get through that room without taking damage. There's a few different ways you can get through this out of bounds. I'm doing it the way that I'm more comfortable with, but there is a slightly faster method. I somehow took 2 damage from falling. That's interesting. And around most of the doors, like that one I just went into, the loading zone for the door is, of course, behind the door. But if you hit like a U-shaped area at the bottom of the door and the transition at the same time, it does give you the transition, but it takes away any of your bonus med kits, which is indicated by the top left corner. You can hold up to 3 at a time, basically.
I was so lucky there. I got hit by the door.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but it got me through the transition.
Nice. So, as I just said, Znubz will now have lost all of his health kits if he had any, because of that.
Luckily, I had none.
Perfect. Almost through east here. Just need a couple more bits. Oop. Oh good, I didn't knock off the one that had the bit. So sometimes when you kill enemies in this game, they'll actually fall off of the world instead of landing on the collision. And if that enemy is holding a bit or any other item, that item will actually fall off of the world as well, and you have to reload the room in some instances to get it back. Here I'm going to perform a damage boost in the wrong direction. Let's try that again in a moment. There we go. Now I'm going to enter the first boss, shoot a pistol shot ahead of time, and miss. If the pistol shot hit him, I'd be able to move and skip this cutscene. All right, first boss is pretty simple. We just have to stand up in the top left corner. It's the safest position. And we get 3 bits from him. We can also select buffer the bit cutscene, as you can tell. And this is the pillar from each area. Well, this is the eastern pillar. We have to pause after activating it, so we skip a short cutscene.
You can select buffer there?
Yep.
Man, both of these runners are just learning new things today. It's impressive.
All right, activate the 4th module and onward to the rest of the run.
Easy every time.
All right, and now we buy our first upgrade. Znubz will be buying it right behind me here shortly. But now we have chain dash, so we can shift into maximum overdrive.
Yeah, just don't go too fast and waste all your stamina.
Yes, so now we have a stamina bar in the top left corner. It's the white bar. And so as long as we have stamina, we can perform this chain dash. Without stamina, we go back to the regular slow dash. And for the alt drifter, sets of 2 are the best. Sets of 3 or more cause you to bonk if you hit a wall. And then there's some other miscellaneous behaviors for chains beyond 3. So importantly, we just have to do sets of 2 in order to maximize our stamina as well as our movement. Go slow here for a save point. This game features an autosave mechanic, and sometimes it does not save if you move past the entrance of the room too quickly.
I know that feeling.
Alright, and then there's not too much more to talk about for a couple minutes. We're just going to be moving through north to get our first module. If we have any donations, feel free, Darkman.
Well, certainly. We have a $20 donation from NC. I love this marathon. We'll be watching for the rest of the weekend. Thank you, NC. Is that like the state of North Carolina? I don't know. But like, if it is, thank you, North Carolina. Just want to let everybody know that thank you very much for all your donations. But hey, if you can't donate, but hey, if you have bits maybe, or you're able to sub, those will also be going to the charity as well. We won't be able to specify any incentives, but it still means a lot to us. So feel free to give us some bits or sub to us. We really appreciate it. Of course, if you can't donate or you can't give bits or you can't sub, you can always spread the word. Just watch us, you know, hang out and chat. Spread the word, talk to your friends, talk to your parents, whoever you want to talk to. Talk to your neighbor's 13-year-old kid. Just spread the word. Just let everybody know what's happening this weekend. The more people watching, the more excitement that's going to happen. So we really appreciate anything you can do.
I'm going to wait for a save. This room is pretty deadly because there's lots of these bird enemies. And they deal 2 damage with their laser. And when you get hit in this game, it puts you in a really long hit stun state, and enemies can continue to hit you, thus resetting your hit stun state, so you can be chain hit to death.
It's fun.
I'm gonna go out of bounds again by using the barrier. Oh, I got stuck in the trees.
Oh.
I just have to reload the game real quick. I shouldn't be too far away. Nope, right
I'm
behind
stuck against
Xeno's
a
now.
tree in the wrong area. Okay. Yeah, you got all the way back there. Yeah, this room is kind of annoying sometimes.
Alright, here I'm performing a trick called Clippy, where if you fall off of a ledge at the same moment you activate a module, you can actually clip through collision.
I might as well die there.
And so I maintain this clippy state throughout this room, and once I leave the room, I will no longer have it.
Oh. Whoops. Again. Don't even remember how to do this right now. Okay. Easy every time.
Right, I need one more module. Gotta go over here. Avoid some more arenas. Ooh. That was not the death timer. I walked into the death plane on the door. There we go.
This area is a little bit easier to see in than it is in East because of the coloring of the background.
Yeah.
But it can still be kind of hard.
Okay. Next stop for me is West. But as Znubz said, it's in some areas it's easier to tell where the drifter is because, like in Mario Sunshine, when you go underground, it shows you like a shadow of Mario. This one kind of does a reverse shadow of the drifter. Gonna try for this clip again. All right, I am going to, unfortunately, watch the cutscene now. But that will save me some time going south, because now I won't have to watch that.
Oh, that's all the mostly sort of hard clipping going on now.
We have a $25 donation from Matt Collins. Says, loving the marathon. Great runs for a great cause. Best of luck to all current and future runs. Thanks, Matt.
All right, when we move through the west here, you may notice we tried to do, again, more sets of 2. That's mostly just to conserve stamina throughout these gigantic rooms. And coming up in a couple rooms, we're going to perform a trick called transition clips. And what we do is we dash back into the load zone after entering the room, and it puts us on the line of transition without actually transitioning the character. And what that allows you to do is then aim your gun to dash out of bounds. So we just have to dash at a specific angle. I got it. And then you take a specific path through the trees to not get stuck. And there's no collision right there, so we can actually just walk through a hole in the collision.
This whole area is busted.
Yeah, the western area has a lot of methods to get out of bounds, but it also has a lot of ways to get stuck. Because all of these trees, they have their own specifically drawn collision. So even though there's floor under them, I might not be able to move through the tree because while I'm inside one collision, I might not be inside the next tree. And here I'm going to perform a crystal clip. I wait for it to start flashing, and then I try and bonk on the wall. And that technically counts the drifter as inside the crystal or collision, which then allows me to walk through other collision. Need that teleport pad because we will be coming back here later. Here's another arena that just has a hole in the collision, so we can walk right past it.
Yeah, I think about every arena has a hole in somewhere that you can leave out of. Just makes this area, at least for the clips, if you fail some of the clips with the barriers, it makes it easy to just retry.
Yeah. Oops. And then I just did it, and Znubz will be right behind me here. We skipped forming a bridge by going through the wall instead to get to that module. Okay, in the room coming up, I'm going to encounter these, like I just went over, there's some spikes, or crystals that form spikes when you move over them. And there's a bunch of them in a row that will, of course, kill us if we can get hit once, because they'll then just chain us to death. Oops. And you can make it all in one sequence of dashes, but I misspaced myself. So the next trick is skipping the western boss. I want to make sure that I have a lot of stamina going into the boss room. And I also have at least 2 shotgun shells. There. We get ammo back for our guns by hitting enemies with attacks. We get a little less ammo by hitting objects like crystals or boxes. And the pistol and the shotgun share ammo. But obviously the shotgun only has 3 shots. So by doing a specific dash setup, we trick the Western boss into summoning one of his minions at the start of the fight, which just gives us time to unbotheredly go over here to use the crystals to perform a clip and then skip the boss entirely. Now I'm going to teleport back to the center waypoint and then go to a secret room to get my last module. All right. Done with west. Next stop is south. South is possibly the most broken area, oddly enough, even after east and west. Oops. Alright, first things first, both of us will need to activate this teleport pad here. We're going to come back up here and try for a couple transition clips. Got this one first try, and what this one does is it gets us behind the exit of a boss room. So we're going in from the unexpected entrance. But this gets us quick access to a module without having to fight the boss or do any of the stuff leading up to it.
I'm finally done now with this area.
Excellent. So now I have to perform a transition clip on this screen change, which is for some reason much harder, even though I got it first try. The angle that you have to do that one at is just, for some reason, steeper than a lot of the other ones. And on controller, it's just very difficult to do this. We have to run any percent categories on controller in order to perform these transition clips, because the controller has an aim function with the gun. Keyboard and mouse do not have that aim function, and the aim actually scoots the drifter's hitbox out a little bit further than where you're actually standing, which is what allows us to enter the collision in the first place. And I think this is a section of the run that a lot of people in the community would agree is rather stressful. Not this specific room here. Until you don't kill everything.
I'd say it's quite stressful.
Ooh. And that's why.
Yeah.
The robots have a melee attack that deals 2 damage, and the range on it is absolutely insane. But ideally, I would have dashed past all those enemies and just opened that door immediately. Well, it's a party in here. Alright, this area we normally can't access unless we do a very convoluted route through this room. There we go. That gets us access to this module. And if we run out of ammo in this room, we would have to try to bait the turret to shoot the switches for us, which is very difficult. So if we run out of ammo there, we're essentially soft-locked. Although we can just quit and restart to the title. We can teleport back out here, so we could just get a different module if need be. So that's why that room is stressful, is because it saves the most time for the most risk.
My favorite room.
All right, finished with South, and we're finally going to see another boss, the final boss. It is technically possible to skip the Eastern boss too, but we needed the bits for it for this route. Alright, Znubz was able to get the select buffer away from that module, which saves him a bit of time. I also don't think he died in that room, so he saved time on me there.
I died once, but I died pretty quick, so I was able to kind of start over again.
Alright, now we get to meet everybody's favorite, Mr. Snuffles, the final boss. He has a lot of cool attacks. We probably won't see any of them, because we can fire the shotgun, swing our sword, and then switch weapons twice, and that reloads the shotgun, avoiding the cooldown for firing the gun again, which allows us to deal massive damage. Alright, cool. So time for me will end in about 20 seconds. It'll end when the screen fades to black. I will call it. Get ready, and... time.
She had a 27-29, Muncha.
Cool. My PB is 25-19, using the same route, which is, I believe, still the current record until Covert Muffin beats it.
Oh, he beat it.
He did?
3 days ago, yeah.
Why doesn't anybody tell me these things?
Oh my god, I keep... Oh man.
We're trying to find a good time to tell you, Muncha. It just wasn't a good time.
I can take bad news.
He actually I think he just did like an overall run and just posted on like every board. So he just kind of beat a lot of people.
What a jerk. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the red door clips are very precise because if you're anywhere inside the door's collision box when it spawns, or if you're inside where the door spawns, it won't spawn if you're standing there. So you have to make sure you're outside of its activation range and then able to get back in and get on the right spot. And unfortunately, in both of these spots in the south, the walls we have to use to go out of bounds are basically one in-game block of distance, or like length, and it just makes it very difficult to actually get out of bounds, especially in those spots. Now time for the fun module, Dash Challenge. Well done. Right onto the
God.
module.
I was like, I did it. Forgot to select
Hey,
buffer.
you still got the hole in one.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
It's kind of hard to do that too, because the 2 pillars on the sides will just stop you if you're like at any bit of an odd angle. So.
Yeah, and the collision in this game is a bit weird too, in that, like those pillars, for example, their collision is like their entire height, whereas
Yeah.
other objects you can actually like walk under them, if that makes sense, under but behind them, I guess, in our isometric somewhat view.
And that one's a lot easier because there's about like a 15 block wide square to input.
Yeah.
So that one's nice and easy. But it's always fun to get those. I got stuck in the north arena and then that room like for a while, so I've lost a bit of time here. But the boss shouldn't go too bad.
Nah, you got it.
I mean, I sat in the corner yesterday practicing it for about like 2 hours, so.
Right. Moving down these stairs is a bit more difficult than it seems, because like the angles where the stairs change, again, the collision is just kind of wonky, and it looks like you should be able to walk there, just dash down to the next set of platforms, but it actually treats it as a different level of collision, so you'll just fall if you try and dash and take or cut corners in the section leading to the boss. Ugh. Too many words. Right, so again, what Znubz wants to do is fire his shotgun and then press attack. And then he's going to switch his weapons twice, which skips the cooldown for firing the shotgun again, which then lets him fire it immediately. And so the shotgun deals 5 damage, regular attack deals 1. So we deal about 30 damage in this first phase and about 24 every other phase. Well done.
That's good. That's usually the hardest phase because you can't attack them early, so.
Yeah, there is a short amount of time after Snuffle spawns where you can't hurt him. And then the first phase is just especially hard because you have just enough time, even with perfect plinking, to get in the 5th shotgun blast. Whereas the other phases only require 4. Maybe the last one requires a bit more, but by then you should just be able to pistol it to death. Perfect.
I got off rhythm there, but I've been getting better at being able to audibly confirm which gun I'm on.
Yeah, sometimes with the lag generated from bosses. Oh. Well,
I'm awful at dashing straight down, so I just
time.
I double dash through there.
Well done.
I'm glad I was able to get that done first try, so.
All right, well, that'll be it for us. Before we go, I'm going to hard lock my game. At least
Yeah.
I'd like to.
You had a 3209. So
Okay, underestimate. We're good.
Oh, well, can't do it.
I died about 7 times, so that's all good.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.